Hi friends. This morning I'm doing a video of me taking my blood sugar. The title of this video is How to Cure Yourself Using Your Blood Sugar Meter. And so what I'm going to do is get separated into two parts, the written part and the video. And the purpose of this is to kind of give you an idea how you can use the blood sugar meter to get rid of diabetes. Okay, as most of you who have diabetes know, doctors are much more interested in your A1C rather than the blood sugar reading that you get. There's a couple of reasons for that. One is this is a test that you can't fake. Because what diabetes is if you compare diabetes to diseases, to a foot race, diabetes is a marathon rather than just a one-time fix. There's not a pill you can take that will say, oh, you take this and we get rid of the diabetes. Okay. And it is true that you can take drugs that will mask the effects of the diabetes. For instance, if you take Metformin, your insulin resistance can go down. Okay, and you can check it by doing your blood sugar measurement. But it's not really a cure, because what happens is the condition gets worse, and then the metformin doesn't work, and then they start to give you insulin, and they give you insulin now, so you're full. Then they're into the thing of managing the diabetes through. That's what they call it, managing, not getting rid of it. Okay, so then the thing with the foot amputations, the strokes, the heart attacks, and they're doing all these great measurements and telling you, oh, you might not need vitamin B6, it could make it worse, and all these things. Let me show you the simple way that I cured my diabetes. This is a glucometer. And what it measures is your blood, the amount of sugar in your blood. Okay, and that's an indication of the insulin resistance that you're feeling. I thought this was just going to be a quick demonstration of it, but I guess what I realized is the glucometer is the scientific way to get rid of diabetes. Okay, not that the glucometer does anything besides measure the glucose, but what it measures is how you can alter your behavior over a period of time so the diabetes disappears. Okay, so so this is a little test strip. You'll see these things. And okay, so what you do, I'm gonna do it here. You stick it in. You see that on the face there? You see that there? That means it's ready to go. So now I take out my trusty, held my finger up. Okay, and I get a drop of blood that appears on the finger. Can you see it? There it is. Okay, and then I take this and I touch the edge of the test strip. Okay, so now it's clicking away. Oh, 125 or 123. Okay, I didn't actually know I was going to get this reading, but I was worried about it. And the reason I was worried about it because yesterday, I waited to eat a little bit later than I did, but one of the things I ate was a bunch of potatoes. The potatoes I found out by doing this and measuring it after the fact is that potatoes can spike up the blood sugar quite a bit. Now, if I wanted to waste another, I'm not going to do any more because 123 is close enough to the magic number of 120. And where 120 is that you are prone to you're pre-diabetic when you're over 120. When you get up to 130, 140, then they say you have diabetes, a mild case. I, at one time, had a 440 diabetic reading. The worst reading I ever had of the blood sugar is that in order to get out of the hospital, I took Metformin. I took it for a week. I stopped taking it, and my blood sugar shot up to 500. So that's what I mean by the metformin is just masked the symptoms. So it got down the blood sugar, didn't stop the deterioration that was going on outside of the blood sugar. And eventually, even it wouldn't work. So if my version of this is, well, metformin is like a fire alarm. All you do when you take well, it's a little bit more than this, but primarily from the perspective of diabetes and getting rid of it, all it does is give you a false sense, oh, this is gone. It's not. So it's like an alarm, a fire alarm, and you turn off the fire alarm, the fire continues to rage. Anyway, what I wanted to do was to show you that I can manage my blood sugar in a way that you would say yes. Yes. Because I keep track of it in a little book. Okay, and this little book, I made it myself. Okay, so I took a little notepad and I cut it to fit into my little carry case. Okay. And I've dealt with people that have had diabetes, that have had erectile dysfunction and neuropathy. And one of the things is it's difficult for people to get into their head that they have to monitor on a continual basis what they do with their food and how the timing of it is important. And one of the things that helps you with that is the meter. Okay, so one of the things that I would do now, if I had this little booklet, is that I would leave room to measure the last thing I ate, what time that was. Because when you see the time and you see the effects of the blood sugar showing up in the next day, then you moderate your behavior. And that's what you need to do, is change your behavior. Okay? So one of the things yesterday, I had all these potatoes and we bought what was called a vegetable medley from Costco. And there's a lot of potatoes in it. Okay, and they tasted good and everything, but if I had waited to eat that at 6 o'clock this morning when I was taking my blood sugar, probably would have been 145, 150. So the purpose of the meter is to make you think about what you do to lower your blood sugar. Okay, so the reason, just to finish off, the reason the time is so important is because you want to get into a state of autophagy, which means that the blood and the sugar in the blood gets consumed over a period of time. And if you stop eating eating food, the body switches over into a period of time into a state called autophagy. The brain, the nerves have to have a sugar 24/7. You can't be without it. If you do, if you take some of the medications to lower your blood sugar and you take too much, you go into a coma. Okay, so the blood sugar is needed by all of your cells for energy 24/7. So if you don't eat for a while, what happens is after about 14 to 16 hours, in order to prevent you from going into a coma, your body will switch over and go into autophagy. What that does is that it reduces the amount of sugar in your blood, but it also does something else. It goes off and it gets fats and other things, and my theory is that you ingest toxins from in your environment through the air, through the food you eat, through the water you drink. There's some indication of fluoridation. Well, it prevents decay, also prevents you from being well. Okay, a lot of research has been done on that. So this gets into your blood, so it's an organic material, okay? And it covers up the insulin receptor on your cells. And the insulin that's manufactured by the pancreas primarily, some by the bone marrow, the insulin can't unlock the surface of the cell. The cell won't accept sugar unless there's an insulin in the insulin receptor. That's how nature designed it. So, and adding metformin doesn't get rid of the thing that blocks the insulin receptor. The only thing that seems to work is the state of autophagy. So the body goes around in the blood, and it's looking for things that convert into sugar. And some of these toxins are able to be deconstructed and turned into glucose, which is a simpler thing. And that's why the blood sugar measures the drop in the insulin resistance, because that consuming of the toxins uncovers the insulin receptor, and now it can receive sugar through the cell membrane. Too much sugar is bad. Okay, so it's a delicate balance. You have to be in the range to have your body working efficiently. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna put in the description of how to use the blood sugar meter in a written form, so you can take it and try it for yourself. There are some things about that are going to be in the description that is not in the written description, that's not on this video right now. So take a look, go get it, go get it printed out. It's going to take me a day or so to do it. So and get a good glucometer, and get the cheapest test strips you can, because it's not the initial reading, it's the other subsequent ones that help you determine what to do. So thank you for listening.